Hey, what's up, guys? Been a few months, so I figured I'd come on and show a few records that I've accumulated and been listening to. Hope everyone is doing well. So I started playing this in the background. You probably can't hear it, it's a quiet track, but this is the Cadence Moscow Chamber Jazz Ensemble with The Way to Olympus. This is mid 80s Soviet jazz. Um, Listening to a flat grip of this actually, so there's a very handsome man right there. At least I think I showed this before. It's just what's playing. Very good Soviet jazz, post bop, improvisational. It's super quiet. I don't know why it's so quiet all of a sudden, but we skip ahead a little bit. There we go. You can probably hear that. All right. Next up. So this is like late 70s from 77 fusion. Really good fusion stuff. So Hal Gordon and the Hollywood Jazz Quintet with Nuances on private label. Gateway. I don't think it's a big label. I think it's a small private press thing, but very good. Under 20 bucks, really good jazz fusion. If you're not a fan of jazz fusion, this would be one to check out. Killer B-side on this, very good B-side. I love the artwork too. This is one that Chris Cole showed in one of his videos. I don't remember how far back. A couple videos back, I think he was playing this in the background or something. It sounded really cool, so I picked it up. Yeah, great stuff. Great jazz fusion. Not expensive. Next up here, Fred Tompkins. Very cool. So one long track on side A on this, and a couple tracks on side B. I think there's one long track on side A. Actually, there's two tracks on side A. Anyway, the first track, title track, Cecile, is a monster record, kind of like a spiritual jazz song, kind of free jazz, spiritual jazz. Compared to the rest of the stuff, the short track on side A and then the other track on side B are more sort of like avant jazz, classical, I would say, compositions. Which are still cool, but not as much as my thing as the track on side A. The title track really does it for me on this, so check it out online. Yeah, I would say that's the track to go for. Pretty plain label on this. But who plays on here? Frank Tussa, Noah Young. He's got a great record of his own. No one else I really know. There's the lineup right there. Sorry about the glare. There's a glare. But yeah, the title track on this is awesome, so check that out, I would say. The rest of the stuff is really cool too, if you like that avant classical stuff. I know a lot of you guys do, but not totally my thing, so. Another one I picked up alongside with that one, the Reform Art Unit. I really like all these guys' records. Not easy to come by locally for me, so it's cool to get this. I got this from a friend. So this is a group that was originally started in Vienna, Austria in the mid 60s. It's basically a big jazz collective. Players have come and gone. People from like Don Cherry, Carla Bley, I think Mike Mantler's in it, Sonny Murray was in it for a little while. So this is one of their later ones from 77 featuring Aladdin Aldernest, which is actually it's a name for a really well-known bassoon player in Horst Bruckel, I guess. I'm not really familiar with many bassoon players in Austria, but I guess he's pretty well known in Austrian free jazz circles. So yeah, big Austrian free jazz collective. Unfortunately, their leader passed away. The guy who started it passed away last year, I believe. So pretty disappointing. They're still putting out music of theirs that was recorded, but this one's from 77. Really good, great stuff. They kind of started incorporating like Euro folk and chamber music into the later stuff, which is sort of what's on this, along with free jazz. So really cool sound on this. I really like it. I think it's really cool. All the records are good though. Reform Art Unit, check all their stuff out. Like I said, they've had lots of great players over the years, so All right, next up, really cool piece that I got. So Freedom Unity First, or just Freedom Unity. The name is weird on here. It's called Something, and I'll just Something by Freedom Unity on the Liberty label. So Japanese group, as you probably know. This is the same Freedom Unity that put out Down by the Naked River, that classic Japanese record. Really love that one. This one's good. Not as good as that one, in my opinion, but this one's still good. This is their debut. Came out in 70, 71, something like that. So half of it is free jazz. Basically, side A is all free jazz. Side B is jazz rock oriented. Yeah, Akira Ishikawa drums. There's also Takuru Murakawa is on this as well. So very good, really cool. I really like the A free jazz side, but side B is just as good. I know a lot of people prefer the B side, so it's whatever you prefer. This was actually on, probably saw it when I showed it, but it's on colored vinyl. Original 70s colored vinyl, which is pretty cool. You don't really see that a lot, but I don't really care about colored vinyl too much, except in stuff like this, instances like this, pretty cool. So the whole record is cool. It's just cool to find because you never see this, so I had to grab it when I saw it. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it yet because I don't love it. I was kind of expecting it to be more like Down by the Naked River, and it's really not like that in my opinion. It's still good, but not as good, so still not sure how I'm feeling on this. Still cool to have nonetheless. Freedom Unity, Something. One that you definitely don't see every day. Next up here, we have a dub record, which doubles basically the size of my dub collection to 2 records now. So, my second dub record, this is King Tubby meets the Upsetter with At the Grassroots of Dub. This is from the early 70s, 1971, on Fay Music, Inc., which I think was started by King Tubby, maybe? I'm not sure who started Fay Music. Anyway, very good. Half of it is mixed by King Tubby, half of it is Lee Perry. So it's Edward Winston record. He produced the whole thing. With his backing band plays on it, the Natty Locks. So fantastic dub. I'm not huge into dub. I don't know really anything about it, but I know this is really good. So check it out. King Tubby meets the Upsetter, Grassroots of Dub, 1971. This is a UK pressing. I know there's a Jamaican pressing that came out the same year, but those are stupid hard to find. So on to some Polish jazz, which I haven't picked up in a long time. Actually, I haven't picked up any new Polish jazz, so this was cool. So missing this one, Andrzej Trzaskowski Sextet, featuring Ted Kurson with Seant. This is the mono pressing on the Polish jazz label. Fantastic Polish jazz. Basically, adventurous avant-garde jazz, from Poland. If you heard anything off this label, maybe probably get a sense of what this sounds like. Just very cool free jazz. Nice improvisational at times. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ted Kurson is a great addition to this, for sure. I think he was spending a lot of time in Europe around this time, in the mid-60s. This was recorded in 65, I believe. Because he plays on quite a bit of pieces around that time in Europe, so very cool. Andrzej Trzaskowski Sextet with Seant, featuring Ted Kurson. High recommendation right here for Polish jazz. A huge grail right here. I didn't think I would actually ever own this. At least without getting incredibly lucky, and that's what happened here. So I'm sure the guy that got it from isn't going to see it. But if you do, thank you, Mike. Yeah, Infinite Spirit Music with Live Without Fear. This is amazing. Just first of all, check out that dope ass cover art. This is crazy cool. But on Ancient Africa Records, So this was reissued by Jasmine Gerald. And that pressing sounds good as well. It's actually a 2LP, 45 RPM pressing. But this is the original on Ancient Africa from 1980. Very cool labels. B-side looks the same. Yeah, amazing jazz record. Let me show you the back. The back is just as cool. Sort of an Afro jazz, spiritual jazz, black classical, as they call it. I'm not really sure. Great, like African rhythms, Afrocentric jazz, sort of in the feel of Sun Ra, but more kind of in the style of Phil Coron, maybe. So it's a group out of Chicago jazz, if you're not familiar. Very cool story. These guys knew all the Chicago jazz players. Yeah, the guy started the group, basically grew up across the street from Roscoe Mitchell, our ensemble, so hung out with all the Horde players from Earth, Wind, and Fire, so just really, really cool. Recorded May 31st, which was today, 1979, so my birthday. Today's my birthday, actually, so happy birthday to me, yay. But this was a birthday present, basically, to myself, which I got a little bit early, but still super, super good. You just have to hear it. Yeah, like I said, they were all members of the AACM, the Chicago music scene. They're fully entrenched in the Chicago music scene, so there's a bunch of write-ups and stuff about this. I'm going to talk about it, but just looking at the cover, you can probably get a sense of what the music sounds like, and it's just as you would probably imagine, so go listen to it. Fantastic. Really, really psyched to have that one, because I never thought I would get that. A record that I had before, I think I had this one before, but I don't know what happened to it. I might have sold it. But anyway, I was able to get it back for a really good price. Paid $10 for this. Jasper Van Hoff Pork Pie featuring Charlie Mariano. Yeah, fantastic. Just jazz fusion. 70s jazz fusion. So good. So I think this was basically made, Pork Pie was made after Jasper Van Hoff left Association PC, and this was basically made into a group like a year after. So I got it for cheap. The sleeve does have some water damage, mainly on the inside of the gatefold. But for players, Charlie Mariano, which I already said, Philip Catherine, Jasper Van Hoff, JF Jenny Clark, and Aldo Romano. So kind of like a who's who of Euro jazz players around that time. An original German pressing, I believe this is, but fantastic. So kind of like free jazz, jazz rock, all mixed, psychedelic and like world music elements sort of all mixed into one. And I love it. I think this is amazing. Both of his Pork Pie projects are good. First one, Transitory, which is this. I forget what the second one's called, but both really good. Check them both out. Next up here, a record I don't know too much about, but it's just really, really cool, kind of funky jazz. Funky free jazz, I guess. So this is Robert Rockwell with Robert Lyle. Robert Rockwell III with Robert Lyle, Androids. On the Celebration label, which is like a private press, I guess, thing, label. Don't know. But yeah, recorded in 1973 or 74, something like that. Very cool. Free jazz, jazz funk, so like a free funk sort of thing. Yeah, out of, like I said, out of a private press indie label out of Minneapolis. Super dope, super dope. Check this out. Heavy percussion, funky keys, just great soloing all around. I believe the title track, Androids, is on YouTube. You can check that one out. Yeah, I don't know much more about this other than just check it out. Pretty cool cover too. Got this from Josh actually, so thank you, Josh. Just one more here. I guess I'll show this to finish it off. Just laying here. I wasn't going to show it, but picked this up recently. Pretty cheap. I've had this again. Or I've had this in the past. Sorry, I bought it again. So this is the Entourage Music and Theater Ensemble with, I think it's just Untitled is the name of it. Super dope cover. I love the cover on this. It's on Folkways. Released in 1973? 72? 73. So basically, what it is, a group of musicians started in Baltimore in the early '70s who would play with. They would play, and then you would have dancers and dance ensembles who they would play with in the foreground as they played in the background. So very cool. Hence the name, the Entourage Music Theater Ensemble. But yeah, they did everything from like Balinese theater to like traditional avant-garde Western sort of stuff to no or not theater, which I wasn't familiar with, but I guess it's like a classical Japanese sort of dance drama. Did a lot of that stuff. Moved all up and down the East Coast. They were in Connecticut at one point in my area, and then they went to New York, and they moved back to Baltimore eventually. And then the guy who started it passed away. It's kind of sad because it was a great group. I think it was called. So it was Rusty Clark, Joe Clark, and Michael Smith. I think it was Joe Clark or Rusty Clark was the guy who started it, and they passed away. They have a second album as well, which has like a blue cover, which I think I like that one a little bit more music-wise. Because the music is a bit out there, you know. You can imagine that they had dancers and stuff going on too. So, but it was cool because it comes with the booklet, which I didn't have last time. And there's like poetry and stuff, so pretty dope, pretty dope. I'm not sure if I'm gonna hang on to this. I got it for a good price. I might just end up selling it. If anyone's interested, hit me up. Maybe we could trade or something. But yeah, I figured I would just show it real quick since I had it here in this pile. So that's it for the update. Got some more stuff on the way, which I just ordered recently. Bought a few things for my birthday for myself, did a few trades, so yeah, had a few record shops starting to open up in my area, so hopefully be able to go out and you know, just go out and check out some record stores. It's been a while since I actually went out and dug non-virtually, so that'll be nice. So hope everyone has a great, I guess, start of the summer, even though it's not really a good time right now, but still, hope you're listening to a lot of good music and just laying low. Be safe. Peace.